Happy Friday. I'm in my favourite woods again, kick-starting a rather melancholic morning. It's just the mind. I spoke to the trees about it this morning. I said, you must be enjoying this calmer weather, because there's lots, you can see behind me, there's lots of branches and trees come down with stormy weather recently. I said, it's calmer this morning, the weather that is, not my mind. And they replied in unison, what's mind? Well, indeed, if all is calm, what is mind to stir things up on such a lovely, calm, mild morning? And I'm on the way to the spa for a swim and a jacuzzi, so what's not to like in the mind? Well, that's the issue, isn't it? We all have our addictions. I certainly have mine, and I like to keep them occupied. And my big addiction is my mind, and paying far too much attention to it. I don't know if you're the same, because I'll just say hello to my friend here. Good morning. Because whatever is going on in my mind does definitely affect, firstly, my thoughts seem to affect my mood, which affects my feelings, which affects my actions. And that's probably just the wrong way around, isn't it? I'm supposed to be older and wiser. Heaven knows I've been to enough management workshops, spiritual retreats. I even went to a time planning workshop that I paid a lot of money for in London, and I was late and they wouldn't let me in. It's true. Oh dear. And I was so angry. They wouldn't let me in. And yes, we all have our addictions, I think. I don't like to judge, but I do judge people who judge. Oh dear. I was listening to the news yesterday in the car, and one of the items was medical breakthrough. There is now a pill on the market. Anybody apparently can buy it. It's very expensive. By expensive, I think the guy at the end said it would cost him £100 a month for a course of treatments of this new drug. What is it, you might say? As soon as I tell you, you'll want one. No, it's not a happiness pill, it's a thinness pill. And a Danish pharmaceutical company has released, and it's approved and tested, and you can buy it, I won't call it a slimming pill. Apparently it suppresses the appetite, and it simply works. And so the man who was being interviewed, who's a journalist, who'd put on a few excess pounds, he wasn't clinically obese at all. He didn't actually have a problem with his weight, he just didn't like his body shape. And don't we all have a problem with our body shape to a greater or lesser extent? And so he was extolling the virtues of the efficacy of this pill, and he's lost pounds, and he feels a lot better and more active and more positive, which is a good thing. And then I got to thinking, well, a pill for everything. Indeed, maybe I bet there is a pill which I could take, which would suppress my thoughts. Oh dear. Whether that amounts to being comatose or just blissfully happy, I'm not sure. But it got me thinking about our habitual behaviours and our addictions. And I'm fortunate in that most of my adult life I've been able to eat whatever I want and I don't slap it on. And I know that's not true for everybody. And I have compassion for people who have their own weight problems, and I have my problem with there are a lot of overweight and obese people, and come on, you've noticed it too, and I really try not to judge. I say to myself, well, we've all got our addictions, and some people it's visible, like overweight, but my addictions, like my addiction to an overactive mind, are not visible, but it's still the same. So I try and have compassion. My other strategy is simply to look away so it doesn't trigger me. I don't know how you deal with things that maybe you can say you can't help being triggered by certain things, and it's usually other people or other situations or people you don't agree with, or political situations or wars going on, but we'll not go there on this happy Friday morning. And then I found myself starting to judge this man who was taking a pill to look good. I just thought to myself, well, eat less, or eat more sensibly, or don't eat for comfort, eat when enjoy a nice meal for sure. Well, seems to me this is a slippery slope, because oh gosh, I think I might be in trouble here. Oh dear. Perhaps this is one occasion where I should really work out what my mind is trying to tell me before I open my mouth. But I'll be honest, what did I really think? I really thought that he's a grown man, and if he was simply had some excess pounds he'd rather not have, why doesn't he just eat less or exercise more? Why is he resorting to a medicinal, pharmaceutical solution? And then I thought, I'm judging, and I shouldn't be judging, because I judge people who judge. Speaking of which, I'm going to visit a judge this weekend, my friend Glenn Judge, and I am really looking forward to catching up with him. Lovely guy. We're going to have a nice lunch together, but we're not going to overeat. No, we're going to be very sensible. We're body morphic positive, Glenn and I. And then I'm going to a spa to swim and sauna it off. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. So what are my addictions, you ask? Not that you will judge me, I understand, but of course the obvious, cappuccino. But please note, for the past 3 years now, since my consultation with my Italian dietitian, decaf cappuccino, and wine, I guess that's the truth. I referred earlier to my addiction of the mind. Well, what's that about? Well, I think there's two aspects to it. I've watched my mind as much as my mind has watched me. I've watched my mind over recent years, and I've rumbled it, or parts of it. Make friends with your mind, not an enemy, by the way. My girlfriend on Lanzarote, Joy, she's a very wise woman, and she used to say to me when I got into a tangle in my own mind, she says, feed the giant pizza. She imagines the mind as being an ogre in a castle, and any time my mind sort of overruled or made me too introspective or glum, frankly, let's be right, glum, she would say, feed the giant. And any distraction from the mind doing its usual churning. So I came to a sort of a knowledge, I suppose I would say, and I have said, the addiction is to the idea that there is something missing. There's something more. I don't want this, I want some other this. Well, this is like a recipe for misery. Because by definition, whatever this is, if you're addicted to the idea that there's something missing, even in the best this there is, and it's always this isness, isn't it? There is nothing other than this isness. But the mind tells me, no, there's something different, usually better, of course. The isness on the other side of the hill is greener than this isness. Well, what's more perfect than this isness of standing in this cathedral of trees? You see, that puts paid to that argument. But I suppose the other addiction, which I love and I would really struggle to give up, is the addiction of thinking, the addiction of harvesting new thoughts, new ideas. So for just very simple example, it's Happy Friday. Why do I call it Happy Friday? Every Friday is Happy Friday for me. I nominate it because it's Spotify new releases, and I've already been listening to some great new tracks on Spotify in bed this morning in the tiny house. But it's also The Guardian new music and film reviews. And after this, I am going to go and buy my Friday Guardian and a coffee and a bacon butty is what I fancy this morning. Don't judge me. And read the music reviews, because in my mind, I'm like a sock drawer. There's always room to shove in another pair of socks, isn't there? Or that plastic bag of plastic bags hanging on the back of the utility door, or the cupboard, the door under the sink cupboard, where you stuff your plastic bags when you forgot to take one to the supermarket and you buy another. In the UK, you have to pay 10p for a plastic bag. And you can always stuff another plastic bag. Well, my mind is like that. The sock drawer or the plastic bag. I've always got room for one more idea, one more song, one more book, one more video, especially one more video for the mind. Literally, what is consciousness, which, as you know, is my favourite topic I am writing about at the moment. So there we have it. My addictions. Would I take a pill to quiet the mind? Now that's something you can ask yourself, whatever your addictions are, whether it with it be your body morphology or your mental morphology. If you could take a pill to quieten the mind, would you do so? Serious question. It's a bit like red pill, blue pill in the Matrix. We all live under, some say the illusion. I don't like that word for it. It's real enough to us all. The idea of an illusion is that you can see through it, but let's call it a hallucination. We hallucinate the world around us, don't we, as in the Matrix? But when we see through it, to the underlying fundamental reality, where everything's perfect, by the way, would but you don't have the joy of an avaricious mind, in my case, would you take the blue pill? Answers in the comments below. See you. I'm off to feed my addiction with The Guardian and coffee. Bye. A slight PS to this that comes to mind when I can remember what it is. Oh dear. There is a saying which I would like to say I thought of, but I don't think it's true. I've picked it up from some unknown source. In life, it is better to live the question than know the answer. And I think that is a very healthy attitude if, like me, you have an addictive, overactive mind, the thought machine. It's better to live the questions than to have the answers. Catch you later.